What it do, y'all? What it do? What it do? It is another Monday, so y'all already know we are lit. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Jezebel.
What's up, Six?
I, you know how you be in those moments where you don't know what to talk about because you don't know how far you may go. Well, I'm glad that this show here gives us a little bit of room to say what we like to say. Because my guy, your guy, and everyone else's guy, Kanye West, had his interview this week, and I know the whole world is wondering what your boy thinks about it.
I definitely was wondering that. I was like, ooh.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was a little thrown off about it. So I know that we got a lot of people coming in here, and y'all know that I had to watch it the next day because unlike the rest of America, I don't really have time to sit down and watch scheduled events. And I did anticipate watching it. I even said to myself, "Ooh, I'm going to watch that." But I'm just not one of those big schedule people like that, right?
Right.
So I didn't catch it until the next day. When I did catch it, though, when I tell you I was not only amazed at the way the interview was conducted, I was mostly amazed at. Did it feel like now? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it didn't feel like an interview to me.
I didn't watch it. Honestly, I just skimmed through the
The
blog
highlights.
to catch up so I'll be ready. But no, I didn't watch it. So enlighten me.
So it was more so like Kanye just l- sharing his truths, letting everything just run down. Just he was just like on a whole rant, pretty much. But it wasn't like an unorganized rant. It was he knew exactly what he wanted to talk about. He had an agenda. He knew what his agenda was going to be, and by God, he met it. Right.
Okay.
So now I'm sitting here, and of course, right now I'm sending out this new link to our listeners because some of them don't know when they hit that subscribe button, it tells you right then and there every new show, every new link. They all want to be, um, all want to be invited in. Send me the link, bro. That's what they text me. Send me the link, bro. Well, it's the same link. That's what I wish I could text them sometimes. but but no, like I watched this interview, and of course I had to try to watch it from a non-biased point,
Mhm.
which is hard when you're a fan,
Okay.
right? So when I watched the clips, I knew I was watching the clips from the standpoint of a fan. So I went into the show, the actual interview, with
Mhm.
an open mindset. Let me hear what everyone's talking about because obviously my Facebook old book was going off like, oh, Kanye's crazy. Kanye ain't shit for saying this. If I was Kanye, I'm done with Kanye. I don't listen to this clown. He's not a genius. And I was thinking to myself, like, wait a minute, not the yay. I know. First of all, I was thrown off by everybody texting Kanye this, Kanye that. His name is Ye. Respect it. His name is Ye.
His name
Officially
is
changed.
Kanye.
Yeah, no, it's Ye. It's Ye. It's officially changed. We have to respect him like we respected Muhammad Ali.
Hey, you going too far?
We got we got to. That's his name. Now he's gotten rid of the slave name, and now he is Ye. We have to accept it for what it is. He's now officially Ye. And Ye had a lot to say about his merge with Kim Kardashian and the beef with Drake. He also had a lot to say about him signing Big Sean. Now, I know you probably heard a lot about that comment.
That's the only thing I heard, honestly. Is
Okay.
that
He also talked about the industry and its frequencies and controlling us with the frequencies and messing up our chakras. So, like, honestly, as I'm looking at this interview, it started off as really good, and then it got to a point where I was afraid for Ye.
with okay. Run me down, please.
Now, we all know the elites don't like certain things we just can't say, we can't talk about.
Mhm.
But let's talk about the Big Sean thing first, because that was obviously something that really caught everyone's attention. Him saying the worst thing he did was sign Big Sean. Now, if you had a chance, did you actually see the whole clip of that in its entirety? Because he really went on to say that how Big Sean was used as a puppet for the Democrat Party to go against Kanye.
He did say that.
And a lot of people made it as if he was saying he didn't vote for me, so I don't fuck with him anymore. Pretty
Well,
much.
well, how was he technically used for the Democratic Party when Big Sean says that he's not political at all and he wasn't used? He didn't publicly endorse any party at all.
So the thing is, what people say on paper, I'm learning is not usually what's the reality of the situation, right? Now, if I'm not trying to say if Kanye said it, then it's true, and if Big Sean said it, then it's true. But my thing is this: we do know Kanye ran for president. We don't know who voted for who. No one knows that.
Okay.
We do know that he did not say his position was because he wasn't voted for. He said he felt like he was used to go against him by the Democratic Party. Now, I don't know what he did. Maybe he did a concert for the Democratic Party. Maybe he did some type of like speaking or some type of commercial for the Democratic Party.
Mhm.
Maybe he supported a business that was Democratic Party at the time when it was like alliances were being made, right? So now put it like this. Let's say, for instance, there was a situation where, because we don't know, we can all speculate, but let's say there was a private conversation that was spoken about this man. Like if someone says to you, hey, we'll put you, we want to give you this job, we want to give you this endorsement, but we can't endorse you if you're going to be backing the Republican Party and Kanye West or Donald Trump, right?
Mhm.
Well, let's just say he goes. I mean, let's just speculate, because that's what we all we do. We speculate. So this is stuff I don't want anybody to say this happened. But let's just speculate that he goes and say, "Hey, I don't mess with Kanye and that movement. I'm doing this. I'm me. I'm my own person." You
Right.
know. Now, no matter what, he's now made this claim. So in this industry or in this world of like rich people, billionaire status, right? That's small, right? Billionaires percentage in France is smaller than millionaires, and millionaires are smaller than thousandaires.
Okay.
So if he said this to a millionaire, it got him, and it got him around in a millionaire circle, that may not have been as detrimental. But what if he said it to a billionaire, and a billionaire says to one Kanye West, why would your own man doesn't endorse you? Your own man doesn't have your back. He told us so himself.
I
Because
mean, but just because but your friends don't always have to agree with
nah, you see, like that's like, so this is where I say to everybody, right? It's funny because no, your friends do not always have to agree with you. They don't have to, your friends don't even have to support what you're doing.
you. Mhm.
However, your friends are publicly supposed to give off the illusion of that.
Not if they really don't agree with you. See, in this
That
aspect, let's say that Big Sean is not a Trump fan, or he's to the far, he's a Democrat. Let's say he does have those beliefs and he
correct,
doesn't support any of that.
correct.
And Kanye does exactly what he's opposed to and against his beliefs. Is he going to publicly support Kanye? No, he doesn't have to.
No, no, he doesn't, and that's 1,000%. But to publicly denounce him is another thing. It's amazing because I always revert back to our good Lord Jesus, and the good Lord God, and His words, and we are made in His image. We all are made in His image, and for real, in the Bible, we can do all the sinning. anything we want to do, but one thing that he says he'll never forgive us for. And that one thing is denouncing him and speaking out against him. Now, I'm not trying to call Ye God or anything like that, but what I'm saying is we all have these mentals in our mindset. That's why the Bible has these words like that, right? I'm not a real biblical person, but I'm talking about correlation. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Your friends, your peers, your body is a house. That's the saying. Your body is a temple. Like, you have to protect yourself. Your peers and your friends that you put around you is like your gate. They're like your fence. So they're supposed to just like be able to handle the bullshit, the pressure. They're not supposed to be able to open up and swing for everybody in any way to let anything come your way. So you don't have to publicly accept or publicly support me, but to
So if
publicly
he thought
denounce
that
me.
Kanye was batshit crazy, he's not supposed to say, "Man, I don't know what that nigga on right now." Like,
Like,
you
yeah,
can't say that. Like, even if
like
that's how he feel, he's supposed to be like, just I, no
you
comment.
you know the saying. What they say in our house got to keep it in here. I mean, listen. If you think I'm going batshit crazy, and you tell me, let's say he's bad, he's Boss Biz Radio, and you go on the and you like Success has lost his damn mind. We got to do something. Like, what the blue blue blue, and and you are now talking amongst yourselves, and it gets back to me between you two. Hey, that's in the house. But now you go out there and you talk to the ops. Now, mind you, the ops is the devil. The other
I mean, but Kanye didn't exactly, I think, sign up to the best deal. Didn't they have some issues about that as well?
Well, let me tell y'all about this, right? Kanye also addressed that. He said that he signed Big Sean to a label that was to a label, right? So I mean, listen, did Kanye know that it was a bad deal when he signed Big Sean to it? Well, he had to know that. This is Kanye West. However, was Big Sean gonna get another deal anytime soon? Will we know about Big
We
Sean? If
don't,
Will
how
we
would
know
we
about
know?
Big Sean?
Probably, he probably could have blew up. We don't know.
Yeah, but you know how this world go. Probablys, like they shoot them Jones down like they shoot probablys like it ain't nothing. They be like probably.
I
No,
mean, so to Big Sean's defense, I mean, if they already didn't have the best relationship, and now Kanye is like publicly embarrassing those close to him, I mean, what is he supposed to do?
well, Big Sean doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Try to get on the defensive. He posted a photo of him and Kanye together later on that evening after the interview, and
No,
he
I
felt.
think it was before the interview, and he said, "Was it after or was I think it
Yeah,
was before?" And he said, I didn't, you didn't say any of this to me,
yeah,
basically."
it was definitely at the night. It was the night of the interview. So the interview was done that morning, but it aired that night, and Big Sean seen it, and then after the interview, they were at the album release party, the EP release party for him and Hit Boy. Now,
Because
of
he said it's the way he said it. Like, basically, he didn't understand where the beef came from because they were just with each other, and that's another thing that I don't understand. Like,
right,
if you feel such a issue with somebody, why fake it? Like,
professionalism,
It's,
billionaires.
it's a difference between professionalism and just being a fuck ass person. Like, you
Yeah,
don't have
yeah.
to be fake and phony and laugh and joke with me and bro me and all that other shit if you don't fuck with me. Like,
Well,
we don't have to be close. We could just simply, hey, keep it moving. We don't need to take no pictures together. Like,
y'all don't control that though. Like, see, like we talking in the realm of. I mean, let's just be real. Big Sean is not in the actual world that Kanye is in. He's an employee. You know what I'm saying? He's an employee still to Def Jam, still to good music. Even though his contract is up with good music, money still from his record deal will be going to good music. money still from his music will be paid to Kanye for the until however long that contract that publishing, however long those masters are owed, right? So at the end of the day, this is still his boss. I mean, we all work in real jobs. How many times have our boss who treat us like shit walk in the break room and try to talk to us like we regular? Hey, how's work today? You doing good? I mean, we don't control the optics around it, right? Because once we get to a certain level, cameras are going to flick away. You know what I'm saying? We can't act what they say ghetto everywhere. Now, mind you, I don't know from the way that when I read text message, when I read the status from Big Sean, that appeared to me what he wanted, a ghetto situation. I mean, there he was standing there in his bandana, all tied back over his cornrows, you know, off colored, obviously, because everyone else in the picture was wearing white and he had on a green t-shirt and black pants. And then he's standing there, everyone's back is turned, and there's two facial expressions that I want everyone to pay attention to. The first facial expression in the picture on the left, and then I want people to pay attention to the facial expression to his picture on the right. See, okay, so you got the single picture. There's a double-sided picture where it shows them side by side, where it looks like there's the initial look of, hey. Now let's try to put words on the picture. Let's try that. If you hold up that picture there, that first picture you held up looks to me like, hey, look who's coming over. It's Big Sean. Yay, it's Big Sean. That's what the guy in the all white is saying to Ye as Big Sean is approaching, as Ye's back is turned. Then you're going to find another photo where it's like, yep.
That's the only one I can find.
And that face right there says to me, when I'm looking at his face, I'm saying, hey, Ye, you ain't have to say that. Whoa. That looks like something was said right there to create that face change.
Not with Big Sean smiling, though.
Yeah, listen, like with him smiling gives me the idea that Kanye is really going ham, and Big Sean, I can't believe he's saying it. Like,
why
whoa.
he look like he got other?
Why Big Sean smiling and Ye ain't smiling at all? In none of the pictures, Ye not smiling though. And the dude looks, and the other guy, Hit Boy, looks a little. I mean, I don't know if that's Hit Boy or not, but the other guy in the white,
Ye is smiling in this picture.
He grinning.
You can't really see, but you can see his cheeks are raised. Hold on.
Yes, that's the initial photo where I say
his cheeks are raised.
So you see what I'm saying? That's the first. So that's the first photo where it looks like the two guys in the white are having a good conversation, and in comes the thug with his bandana. And the second photo is where the smile is now gone and the disdain face. I'm just breaking it down. The smile is gone, and there's a disdain face in the second guy's face. There's a disdain look on his face, and the smile on Kanye's face is gone. The only one that's still smiling is the employee, Big Sean.
Now.
You see that? You see that? So it looks like, and actually, if you look at the way that the cheeks are, it looks as if Kanye is actually mid saying something like going in. He going in right there. He got those Alvin and the Chipmunk cheeks going on.
He looks like he's suffering from alopecia.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Basically, I mean, well, you know, he's allegedly bipolar and all that other stuff. So maybe he's just having an episode.
Kanye, listen, like honestly, I do believe that there's something. There's a lot of stuff that's troubling, probably to Kanye, right? I mean, we're in a world where now we got real life. Ask ourselves, bro. Our people that we look up to are really struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like they are really hurt right now. Like, and this world is putting more and more pressure on the uppers, the celebs, to keep them happy in a time like this, right? It's like a lot of pressure, and everything is scrutinized. I mean, like honestly, don't cry for me, Argentina. But when I said that I wanted to be an artist, I didn't think that for a second. Honestly, I didn't think for a second that it would bring as much hate as it brings when you actually start to be successful and when you start making it. And I'm just on a baby level. I'm not even on the level where, everybody going ham and I can't walk around. I mean, sure, sometimes I get star moments. Sometimes I get stopped in the streets and asked, about my look and asked what do I do or asked about me. Sometimes I get walked up in the restaurants and they asking me, am I success, right? And that's not a cap situation. But it's like when you get into these modes that you work really hard for, and then people really start like hating you. It gets to a point where nothing you can do is good enough. It gets to a point where nothing you can say is good enough. And I mean, like, honestly, I don't know about the levels of one or two artists. You know what I'm saying? But I know when you are at the point where you are trying to put on artists and put people in position to win, it's a whole nother mental on it. And it messes with you. Right? So if you see any type of what we would describe as disloyalty, that automatically throws us all off. You know, it's like because what are you doing every day? You know what I'm saying? Every day you wake up, you're aiming to either please, you're aiming to either try to put people in position, and then all you're asking for at the end of the day is for people to use whatever little bit of power that you putting them in or giving them to have your back. I feel a lot of pressure every day. I, look, I feel pressure every day. I mean, I can't. You know, what's worse is before I get good morning text, I get hate messages.
You said what?
Before I get good morning text, I wake up to hate messages.
That's disturbing.
It is like it's crazy that yesterday Kanye West did his interview. I'm sorry, the day he did his interview, I woke up the next morning to 37 notifications. You would have thought I was Kanye and I did the interview.
I mean, well, you are pro Kanye, pro yay,
Yeah, pro
pro
yay,
yay.
pro yay. But when I tell you that they were like, it was like a full blown attack, you know?
Like
And
a bad attack.
yeah, yeah. Now I've had to, um, I've been called what they call like crazy, right? I've been called crazy and other words like that. And I use the term now, I am how you all made me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you know what's weird? Remember, there was a time now, we've known each other now going on almost 4 years. And there was a time when I would walk into a room and no one even cared who I was. There was a time when you was able to just walk into a party, head to the DJ booth, and be good. You know, like
Mhm.
there was a time, but now those days are different. Like we can't just be just walking to a spot. Could you imagine like trying to walk into a spot and not be acknowledged? You know, like you
I
try.
do have.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore. So and like we're on a small level. We're not on like we're on a small level, and we've been told we are canceled. We've been
Woo.
we've been called haters. We've been called what they call it? What they call it when you support the wrong side? Traitors, I guess. I don't know. We've been called everything, but pioneers. We that no one has
Yeah.
acknowledged the fact that we put on. No one that don't acknowledge the fact that we put on the business. And I'm sure it's people that like listen. When a lot of people don't get caught up in the word no one. We're talking about the uppers. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that actually like keep the like that make the moves and the shakes, right? Because y'all don't realize like when I go to certain spots, I get shut off because of how I'm perceived as knowing too much. Oh, I had a guy from Jive Records come to me and tell me, you're a threat to us. And until you change how you speak, you're gonna be a threat to us. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a threat. How am I a threat? Well, you know too much and you share too much. You can't talk like that. Like you talk like you a Jew. And I'm like, whoa, how, Sway? See, we got boundaries that we got boundaries like a bug in this game.
Mhm.
So when you get people in this industry that are able to elevate above those boundaries, are those people our blueprints or are those people our villains? See, what I realized is I said on my Facebook, I realized they don't hate you because you're not them. They hate you because you're successful. And when you become successful, you have to move a certain way. It's rules to the game, it's rules to life. I mean, if I wanted to be a street dude all day long, I don't think that they would take too kindly of like a street dude hanging with, the certain another gang or another team all day. I'm going from my gang to the next gang to the next gang, and we all just hanging. Well, I mean, like honestly, the music industry is one big gang. Just like the police officers are one big gang, just like the military is one big gang, all the doctors one big gang. Like the music industry is one big gang, and there's levels to it. So honestly, I wasn't mad I wasn't surprised that Kanye would attack Big Sean, right? Because Big Sean is his first. You know,
Mm.
when Kanye got his shot, his first person he gave a shot to with his newfound space was Big Sean.
And he feels like he's ungrateful or something.
Well, not only that, Big Sean wasn't the only person he attacked. John Legend was as well, right?
I didn't know he was responsible for it.
Oh my goodness! And why am I lunching right now? Give me 1 second. Let me take a break for a second.
Okay. We're just ordinary people. Yeah, so I had no clue about that. Hold on, y'all. But I had no clue he was responsible for John Legend. Did y'all know? Did y'all know?
Now I ain't gonna lie. I look at my computer and I'm like, wait, oh my goodness, I thought I had it on the charger.
Oh.
but
But anyway, I was just asking. I'm like, I didn't know he was responsible for these John Legend.
yes, yes, he actually found John Legend in a church, and John Legend was working every day. He told John Legend, come here to the studio after you get off work. Trust me. John Legend did that for a couple of months straight. Worked in the studio, wrote some stuff, put some stuff down, proved itself, record deal. You know? Now, honestly, people got to ask themselves, these are not traditional ways of signing artists. Mind you, these are not little kids that were signed, right?
Mm.
I mean, how many adults walking around with dreams like a Common, like um, a Big Sean who's standing in front of places freestyling, trying to get on, you know? And mind you, this is somebody you looked up like a hero because you said you actively admitted you stalked him to figure out where he would be, and you waited for him to come out for days when you heard he was in your city. You waited for days to meet Kanye West.
That's what Big Sean said.
That's a story. That's the Big Sean story. You
Oh.
know? So I mean, like, no, I don't expect anybody to vote for somebody that they don't want to vote for. All I'm
Mhm.
saying is if I don't mess with somebody, if I if I don't mess with somebody, then the whole world knows I don't mess with them. Right? And I usually do that by not siding with them. There's a lot of people that the new word is called ops, but there's a lot of people that they know Sixxcess don't mess with me. Sixxcess don't like me. And there's a lot of people that know Sixxcess is in my corner no matter what. Sixxcess got my back no matter what. You know, it had to sound like this is how it
I
is.
mean, I'm just laughing because you're such a good person. You're such an easygoing guy. Like it's like
Yeah,
slim, very very slim picking that I run. I could think of anybody that
Yeah,
who
because like
says
honestly,
things
like
don't like
it's it's a trade off. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta be myself, which is 100% genuine all the time. But then I'm sitting down with RCA people from RCA Records. I'm sitting down with people from Atlantic Records. I'm sitting down with people from Interscope Records, and I'm sitting down with people from Def Jam Records. And and it's like I'm sitting down with producers. I'm sitting down with managers. I'm sitting down with all these people, and the one thing that they all say is, "Oh, you you're a real good dude. You real good. You real genuine. However, we don't know. We don't know if you got this. We don't know if people pay attention to this. We don't know if people would attend to this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is the thing. I go on my page and I post something like, "Hey, beautiful day, everyone. Stay great. Be encouraged. Live your life." And because I'm in a world where I don't care about likes. I don't care about views, right? But my money does, right? My money gets affected by the lack of. So if I don't do what it takes to do these things, then I lose. Now, here, I'm using myself in this narrative, guys, because I want y'all to understand that this is on a smaller scale that we have to think about these things. And we're not even talking about billionaire status, right? But if I have to think about these things, that I go on my page and I post this stuff and I'm like, hey, yeah, people like me, people are paying attention to me, people are attentive, but I post something encouraging and no one is crickets. It's crickets. But then I post something what people would deem crazy, maybe my truths, maybe my thoughts, but I post it, they deem it crazy, 300, 400,000 comments. And next thing you know, now I'm showing, hey, no, they're paying attention to me. They're looking. I have people paying attention, but in what light? At what sacrifice did I have to do it? You see what I'm saying? So then when people that don't know me or haven't had a chance to meet me, they say, "Oh, yeah, you're a troll. Oh yeah, you troll a lot." And that now we pay attention to you because you keep us laughing, you keep us entertained, But I'm like, nah, like I'm more than just that. I've always been more than just that. But when I try to keep y'all encouraged, y'all ignore me. When I turn up on y'all, you give me what I need to get paid. And it's a bad line because when Kanye West said, and since we're still on the interview, but when Kanye West stood up and said, Bush hate black people, don't care about black people, you know, when Kanye West stood in the all gangster rap era in the mid 90s, and still got up there in the pink polo and a backpack and was able to encourage other artists. You ain't got to be a gangster carrying that, carrying this. Yeah, he sold a lot of records, but there was nobody saying Kanye West is this and that. It was it was when he got drunk and Taylor Swift incident that billions of people talk to him and his music starts to get run up. And he coins the phrase, oh, well, I guess bad publicity is good publicity. He didn't put that in his mental. He came in wanting to be a good dude. But every bad thing is when y'all promote it, when you all push it up. And I say you all now, I'm definitely speaking to the general public that everyone is going to see this podcast. Because honestly, y'all don't take care of the encouraging. I mean, Dr. CB lived in a hut, you know? Dr. Sebi lived on a deserted island and wasn't no mansion, wasn't none of that good stuff. And y'all, and I dare one of you people out there tell me Dr. Sebi didn't want stuff.
he
He ex,
probably didn't want it. He's
he
probably
probably
already
he
experienced
probably had fully he probably had fully accepted what his position and place in life was, to be a giver. I mean, look, this is not no coincidence. Like I said, I'm gonna draw a lot of correlations from the Bible because that's how a lot of people seem to understand stuff. There's no correlation, no weird coincidence that Jesus was the only person that we talk about in the Bible that walked around everywhere and seemed homeless. I'm just saying, nowhere in the Bible is there ever a stating that there was a party at Jesus' crib. There was a get together at Jesus' house. Jesus walked home and stayed and slept the night. There's never a story about that. I'm
I'm not fucking with
just, I'm just saying that's how people treat people who are here to do good for them.
I can't.
Like, it's scary. It's scary. So you know what people choose to play? People choose to play the shark. And in today's world, it's called the troll. And, and that's the evolution of everything.
But that's sad that bad publicity is good publicity. I mean, times have really changed.
I mean, like,
Or have they?
that's what I was about to say. Because I've been making that challenge all week. Our time's really that different. I've just correlated to everyone how in the Bible it was the exact same way. And they said that was written before BC and whatnot. They say that's the oldest book in the world, but yet the same correlations to the same type of people continue to happen. If you can't tell me that you can't look up and find you a person that resembles every person that the name is in the Bible, then you ain't looking. You ain't living. And I'm trying to tell y'all think that these actions wasn't around when there was knights and whatnot. I mean, we already know the king, when he was having this big feast, he would bring in the person that could make him laugh. And usually that person was the person who was hurting himself the most. You think it was the funny man? You think the funniest person in the kingdom got to be the king's jook? No. It was the person who was willing to hurt himself the most. He was the one that was blessed enough to grace the king when the king was down, to grace the king when the king needed to pick me up. The king didn't call his friends. He didn't call his knights in there. He called the jook. And at the end of the day, everybody in today's world still look for their jokes. The jokes for Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever other craziness that you got going on in your life. Now, what's so different between us and acknowledging these things, right? Well, half of us don't. Half of us will walk around and call people what we want to be. And if y'all know what I'm saying, like, people will hate on you for doing whatever it is you want to do. That's true. But the true hate and the true admiration is when you listen to what they say. They say to you, let's just say you're a gamer, man. All you do is play that game all damn day. Well, they wish they could play that game all day. All you do is go to the radio station all day and be on the radio. What else you do? Oh, you want to come to be on the radio all day? You don't do nothing but rap for 5 minutes, and then y'all make more than I make. I heard somebody say y'all rappers make more than I make working at 9 to 5, and y'all just be on stage for 15 minutes. I was like, well, damn. I can teach you how to rap. I can teach you how to rap, bro.
Was that a compliment or is?
No, it wasn't a compliment. It wasn't a compliment. They feel like they're more important because they can't do what you do. Or the worst part is because everyone can do music. Anybody in this whole wide world can do music. There's not one person in this world that don't have a musical bone in their body. The thing about it is you have to know what genre you want to do. That's where a lot of people mess up. They don't know their genres. But everybody can do music. That's the easy part. Selling music is the hard part. And really, you know why that's the hardest part? Because selling yourself seems to be the hardest thing that anybody in this world ever does. The first thing that everybody want to yell out when you ask them about achieving the top spot in their anything, I ain't about to sell out for that. I'm not about to sell my soul for that. They not about to take my life. Well, how you think the owner of that company became the owner of that company? His life was already taken by that company. The sacrifice was already made. How do y'all think that all these things happen? Like, you have to know that there is a lack of fear that was taken. There was a major step that had to be taken, and a lot of people for real don't want to take the steps because it hurts. That's why not everybody can be the Jew. And I mean, listen, I'm trying. I'm not everybody can be the king. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the king is the kings are set. Like, somebody asked me, why do I speak of life as a get along, go along type of world?
Why do you?
Well, like, honestly, I've grown numb to the fight. I
Mm,
watched that Colin Kaepernick special the other day after specifically saying I wouldn't. But because I watched the Kanye West, and a lot of people were saying things to me, and I wanted to like speak back clearly, and I wanted to hear people, I wanted to offer the same respect that they offered, you know what I'm saying, over to somebody they felt like was a clown, someone they felt like they didn't believe them, someone they felt like was ingenuous, someone they felt all these negative antics about. They still watched it and they still engaged with me about it. And that's what I took. I said, okay, me going along. Okay, well, at least they watched. But let me be fair to them that are attacking me and watch their thing so that I can have something to go back on with, right? And that's caused a very cynical way of thinking about it. It really wasn't watching it to learn something. I just wanted to be able to combat back, have something to combat back with. But I actually ended up learning something, learning a lot more than I ever thought, you know? And I realized that we can't we can't win, right? And this is probably gonna be the most defeated that y'all gonna ever hear me sound when I'm talking about battling against any type of machine that y'all battling against. Right? We can't win. We talk about creating our own, being our own entities. We talk about linking up and doing things and creating our own infrastructures. But the reality of it is we don't support each other enough. So how can we? I mean, it's not even, if you can't even get your friend, someone that you put, and even if it's not your friend, if you can't get someone that you put millions of dollars into, someone that you literally can openly, and that person can openly say, this person changed my life, my mama life, and my mama's mama life, right? If you can't get that person to think that you are good enough to save the world, then wow. How hard is it to get the people that you don't do anything for to
I
believe you can save
mean,
the world?
I mean, his actions should have. I mean, if we're
Now
talking
listen,
about
I get,
Kanye, and you keep,
I
let's
get,
not neglect the fact that Kanye have made some moves that
no, I get
maybe
that. I
very
get,
few agree with.
I get that. I get that. Listen. Whatever I do in public, if I make a public move that you don't agree with, right? At the end of the day, you can pick up my phone and call me. You can pick up my phone. You can pick up your phone and text me. You can reach out to me literally and speak to me, right? So I already know you don't agree with it. Okay, so that's not the issue. And the thing is, the issue is about protecting your infrastructure, which everything, like, honestly, like, if you think about this, if you think about it in this realm, yes, I know you're doing things. I'm doing crazy antics. However, you are in my inner circle. So if I tell you, look, if I told you, look, if we go crazy, they're gonna pay us millions, billions of dollars for doing wild shit, crazy shit. You're gonna say to me, I ain't with that. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand you when you say that. But now I'm making billions. I'm still paying you. You know, I'm still making sure you eat off of these billions that I'm making off my crazy antics. At the end of the day, you know the game because you're my friend. You're in my circle. I've already told you the game. You should also know me personally and my genuine side and where I really stand for. You mean to tell me that in the 6 years that y'all have been together, y'all have never had a real conversation about where you understand where this person coming from or what this person really can do. And then at the end of the day, I always believe in holding everything at face value. However, I don't want anybody to think that I really care if he voted for him or don't vote for him, right? Because that's not my position. I don't even vote. So, but I did write a vote Kanye song, and I put it out like 3 years ago, for the campaign when I knew he was running. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to
Don't
draw.
try to rush through that.
Nah, I did. As soon as I found out he was running, I wrote the song for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Big Sean was thinking about. There could have been a vote, yeah, so, but I did it first. Yay, I did that for you. But what I'm trying to have everyone see is why we have to why I get along to go along, right? Why I feel like we can't win. Because if we're all in a group and we all millionaires, we all billionaires, and my own circle still don't believe in me to take it to the top, or whatever the case may be, and that's a rich circle. And poor circles move way worse. You know? Like, no, look, poor circles move way worse. Everybody in the poor circle feels like they should be the man. There's not one person in the poor circle saying, hey, I'm gonna make sure you become the man first. So then I ask myself, hey, Six, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep on pushing that fight? Are you gonna keep on pushing that good fight for everybody to go through the door and charge? Well, no, now shit, that make me the leader. And I see what y'all do to y'all black leaders. You spit them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. But guess who take care of y'all black leaders? The white people. And I'm not trying to hurt y'all feelings or nothing like that, but we didn't make Jay-Z a billionaire. We just put Jay-Z in position to get billions from the white people. Because half of you out there don't even pay your Spotify subscription to be premium, your Apple Music subscription to be premium, and some of y'all might have joined Tidal because it's black owned, but for the most part, all of y'all are on free platforms, down streaming music for free, hitting the album button one time so you can hear it for free. You're not sending your kids and you're not sending your teenagers out to the concerts. You're not lining up around the corner buying their clothes. It's not you. It's not y'all. So when y'all ask yourselves, how can these people think like this? What is their mental? They're not thinking for the people. Yes, they are thinking for the people. I'll tell y'all who those people are. If you give me a second, I'll tell you exactly who those people are. Those people are the people that are taking care of them. Those are the people that will give them their endorsement, will give them their backing, will give them their vote. I mean, listen, I've ran with some scary cats back in my day, but I always kept it ingenuous with them. Like, hey, y'all back me. I mean, look, I don't have a college degree, you know. All the people that had my back was telling me drop out of college. They had me. All the people that wanted me to stay in college didn't have a dang on thing for me. No assistance, no help, no nothing.
They never do.
Just words of slight encouragement. Well, be blessed. You can do it. You can do it. Why can't I do it and you can't? So when I was looking at this Kanye interview and I'm translating all of this stuff, right? I'm translating it to another level because I'm like, all I'm hearing is kind of like the same shit I be complaining about. Honestly, all I hear is kind of all the shit that I hear anybody that I know that's trying to really make moves. And I'm talking about really anybody that's trying to really grow in their life. Everything that Kanye was saying in that interview, I heard every one of y'all. I saw all y'all Facebook statuses. I saw all y'all tweets. I saw all y'all artists lives and how y'all be when he was up there talking. All I was hearing, like y'all heard Big Sean didn't support me, right? But I heard nobody come to my shows, none of my friends come to my shows, so fuck them. Cause that's what y'all say when nobody show up to y'all shows. First thing it is, fuck my friends. They ain't show up, so I ain't got no friends. It's just me. I'm in this industry alone. You know, that's these are all the things that all of you artists be saying on Old Book and sharing all of your statuses.
Oh shit. Who the hell booted Sixxcess out in? What y'all do?
Demonize me. Who demonized me out there?
I don't know.
But I'm gonna tell all y'all like it is. Like all of y'all are crazy. All of y'all are the narcissistic, and all of y'all are ego maniacs. You guys. And why am I saying this to you guys? Well, because that's what you said. I'm just relaying how it is, right or wrong, Jezebel.
Right.
Because I keep everyone now. Listen, I have totally accepted my new role as the cynical, as the conscious, as the troll, as the over the top thinker. I've completely accepted my new role, and I want y'all to understand. I've embraced it now. It's so hard for me to go back to the um regular, we're gonna let's all march, kumbaya, you know, it's us against the world. It's so hard to go back to that. You know, it's so hard to believe that you have people actually in your corner. And it's crazy because I know for a fact I have people in my corner, right? And I've stopped trying to trade those people. What I tell all of y'all, every person out there, stop trying to trade your support system for a better support system or for a bigger support system or for a new support system. Ride with them. Ride with the people that support you. Now, a lot of people made the statement that Kanye West was not friends with Big Sean. It was a business decision. And they made that correlation with me a lot this week from black quarterbacks in the NFL, black players in the NFL, paychecks. I've been talking about a lot this week on my social media, right? And it really feels like we're at a point now where it's way easier to start complaining, to start making excuses for why we aren't where we want to be, to start pointing the finger, and just flat out be ready to burn the house down. It's way easier now. Oh my God. Y'all have made it so easy to just quit now.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, what's the repercussions of quitting these days? What's the repercussion? I mean, like, honestly, down, do you know that you can give any reason to walk away from a job or an obligation? And people just have to say, all right, we get it. Anything. It don't even have to be relatable to the job or stopping you from doing it, but anything you want now. And we all are on this fine protection of mental health.
Mhm.
Like like when I was in the military, and I spent 15 days in the military, y'all. But when I was in there, on my second day, they told me about this thing called a stress card. Now, I asked, what is that? They said, hey, if you get one of those, they can't make you do nothing. And I said, really? And I moseyed myself down to the infantry and I got me one. As a matter of fact, I got two, right? I got a red one and I got a yellow one. And it was to determine or to let people know the level of stress that they were putting me under. And if I had on a red card, woo, he could go from telling me, get down and give me 50, drop down and give me 50, run a mile, you piece of red card come out. Hey, you need something to drink, you need to go take a nap, you need to take a break, anything, whatever you need, let us know.
No
Oh,
way.
that was the power of a red card. As a matter of fact, one day my red card got me to sleep an extra 2 hours while my whole unit had to drill.
Oh,
As a matter of fact, he specifically said, as long as Trowell has that red card up, y'all are gonna drill. And I knew that once I put my red card down, he was gonna make me drill. So I kept my red card up. I didn't care. Well, maybe that was the beginning of my downfall when I realized that I was already on this journey of self awareness and what do they call it? It's now called self preservation. And honestly, I like to say we all are in this state right now, but of course I can't speak for everyone, and that's called ingenuous and outlandish when I speak for everyone. But I gotta be forward with everyone to understand and mental of where we going right now because we all are protected by these fine lines right now. I mean, it's crazy. Our words our words are more than ever. And you don't even have to be a words man, a person good with your words. For all you that don't know that, you don't even have to be a wordsman nowadays to get in trouble for your words.
What?
You don't have to be a wordsman anymore to get in trouble for your words. Usually, back in the day, the saying used to be, "He don't know what he's saying. He didn't mean it like that. He just don't know how to speak in public, or he just don't know how to speak to people." You remember those used to be the sayings now. Now you run that line, nah, I just don't know how to speak to people. You know exactly what you said.
Man.
Like we we only protected we only protected by stress and our mental. If I say something that I don't mean to say, the only thing that's going to protect me is me saying I'm under pressure or I don't know what's wrong with my mind these days. And the sad thing about it is, once you're diagnosed or once you're excused by one person, you know that's the message. That's the whole world now because we're not in the world where anything is private anymore.
That's
You,
true.
you can't just be publicly. You can't be called crazy in private and walk out like nothing happened. You can't be a killer in private. You can't be a thief in private anymore. Like you got caught, and it's no backing down. We don't excuse the excuses. And yet we asking ourselves in today's world to go against we are fighting everyone's mental against our own mental. I mean, like I have to wake up in the morning, like I said, I'll probably turn on my one of my apps right now and I got some type of message that's totally disagreeing with whatever I said. You know, I probably got that as soon as I open up my phone, I probably got a status notification on one of these apps, someone disagreeing with what I said. I can't think anything in private anymore because what's that? What's a private thought? A dead one? Like we gotta speak, we have to literally speak everything into existence because the power of the tongue is more powerful now than ever. I mean, a lot of people say, everyone, all you artists, y'all sound the same. There's no originality anymore. There's nobody doing this anymore. Well, that's just simply not true, right? I tell everybody like this: when was the last time that you typed in another genre besides hip hop or besides rap or drill? And usually, like I said, since y'all are letting apps and algorithms dictate to you how you live, how you move, and stop with the cap. Y'all are. I see it every day. It's called analytics. I watch analytics all day, every day. Y'all allow this stuff to happen because when you sit up there and you listen to an artist like Key Glock, as soon as you're done with his album, there's these bubbles at the bottom to tell you other artists that sound just like Key Glock for you.
Young Dolph.
And you hit that Young Dolph button. You see what I'm saying? And that's how the game is structured these days to keep us mentally thinking that it's all one way, it's all one sound, and there's nothing else to do about it. I mean, listen, I'm on the radio. I actually DJ music and on air personality. I don't think all music sounds the same. I think sonically we're in a sonic era, right? I think that if I was listening to the OJs and I put on the Temptations album and then I put on a I don't know, Five Heartbeats, I'm probably just naming little old 75 groups, but they all sounded the same to me. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low. They all gave me that feel. You know, I mean, I don't like, and honestly, if in the 80s, listen, if in the 80s you didn't have to bust your ass to get a record deal, you know what I'm saying? And in that era, you would have heard a lot more. You know, you would have heard a lot more of that Heavy D and the Boys. Actually, I call it the Beastie Boys. You would have heard a lot more Beastie Boys. You would have heard a lot more Fat Boys. You would have heard a lot more. The reason why you hear a lot more now, because the game has always been inspired by the people in the magazines. It's always been inspired by the people that's on the big stages. I mean, y'all big time, y'all favorite rapper said it out of his own mouth. I used to read Word Up magazines, Heavy D and Salt and Pepper on my walls. The Lumberjacks with the pants to match. That was all telling you he was following the image that he saw before him. Everybody walking this path in today's world is getting to that point where we so different. But yeah, everybody got a shirt company on Printful. Everybody, all y'all got clothing designs, clothing brands. And for real, what's crazy is, even though y'all clothes look the same, y'all not partnering up and working with other people that do the clothes to make one big clothing line in the city. Everybody got to be the boss. And I mean, listen, everybody wants to be the president, or no one wants you to be president over them. And that's what I really hear when I hear stuff like, oh, when I ask your friends, share this. Listen, y'all have ghosted me a lot. Y'all have Big Sean me a lot. And I'm damn near your friends. But I don't wake up in the morning and see my shares like that. I get a few: Face Lover, Tony, Shaq, and Lord, if I'm forgetting anybody, please don't hold it to my heart. I'm just rambling on right now. But we get a few shares, right? And it's like, wow, we know they really, really genuinely fuck with Boss Biz Radio. But then I look at a lot of people that they hit you with the, I watched your little show. Y'all shouldn't have never did that. Why y'all talk about that? Wait a minute.
I realized that when people put "lul" in front of stuff, like it's like an insult before a compliment.
Oh, I've realized a lot of things. When Kanye said when people call you a rapper, that's like calling you a nigga. And
Why?
I felt it.
I mean, but why? What do you say, artist?
Yes. 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 I mean, the thing about it is, what is a rapper? One who just raps or tells stories?
Yeah.
It's also dismissive because rappers are a lot more than just rappers. They leaders, you know, they business owners, especially if they're running their own self.
Some.
Yeah, yeah, some of them. But that's the thing, like when you walk up to a real nigga in the streets and be like, "Yo, what up, nigga?" He don't care because he knows he's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? He know he doing nigga shit every day, so he don't give a damn. When you walk up to a person that's really doing some shit, be like, "What up, nigga?" Hey, don't call me no nigga, brother.
That.
You know, they know. They're like, bro, I do a lot more. My name is Marcus. And I'm sorry, Marcus is out there if you felt like I was using your name as a shot. But no, I wasn't. You know, but that's how it is, like, right? We sitting there like, come on, bro, Ham. You realize about to do that? You can't do that right now. Like, please don't tell me that you about to realize do that right now. And we all make that same plea and we all make that same bargain the minute, listen to me, People, the minute that you say to yourself, I think I can do this for myself, you just made that same bargain, and that you just openly made that same sacrifice, and all you have to do is go through with it. That's the only difference that sets you apart. The only difference between you and the Kanye West is not just your billions. It's not just 6 billion. It's the idea that not is not the idea of I can do it, but the actual process and the actual gumption to make it happen. To no matter what, believing in yourself. I mean, look, a lot of people look at me every day, and there's a lot of false pretenses on me from the way I dress, from the way I talk, from the way I carry myself. But every once in a while, when people are paying attention, I let people into, what we call the real life. And I break it down, and I show people, and I'm me. For let's say every time the moon is full, you get to see Kayron Trowell. You know, but for the most part, Kayron Trowell can't be Kayron Trowell because 24/7 success is needed. And the sad thing is, who hurts the most? My friends and my family. They hurt the most. And what happens? Because they hurt the most, they hurt me the hardest. And because they hurt me the hardest, they're my first interaction of what people are perceived to be. If I think my family already one way about me, surely I believe the world is the same way. And you move differently. That molds your movement. It molds everything. How you move, how you think, how you talk. It gets trippy. Because at the end of the day, let's look at a situation like Summer Walker, for instance. She signs her record deal. She says that the deal was for 100K. She was supposed to get 100K in advance. She ended up getting 85K in advance. She gets $600 per stream. She gets 16 cents every dollar that she makes. Well, everyone is talking like all these people that's talking like this bad deal. I haven't seen none of Summer Walker's friends come out and speak about it as a bad deal. And you know why? Because they probably remember the making zero on your music, Summer Walker. Her friends remember the Summer Walker that didn't have 85K in the bank, right? So what are we asking ourselves? I mean, like, could you work at your job and make 85K in one sit down? And if you can, you got a good ass job. And I'm gonna tell you, that's not a job. You might do some time if it's illegal, and it's a career if it's long term. But let's just be blunt here. Like, anytime you say that, hey, I'm ready to be free and do me and explain my dreams, you are now putting yourself on the guillotine of your peers. And I know a lot of my friends right now that they hit me up, and I know they don't like my guillotine because I've only grown this way because, like I say, it's how you all made me, right? Because at the end of the day, you all make every single artist how they are. No artist is self-made. No artist is made off of their own image. And I want y'all to understand this. What happens is when an artist is selected, analytical data is gathered and obtained. When an artist is signed without any analytical data is began to be created by whoever signs them, usually the label and management team. So let's say, for instance, my first song is pop shit all day, pop shit, pop shit, pop shit, pop shit. And y'all take that record up to be a millionaire. The minute I come out, and any one of y'all that knew me before that, and I like to say some real lyrical shit, y'all have just made it impossible for me to ever do that again, right? Because y'all didn't pay when it was real lyrical shit. But y'all got on the bandwagon of promotion when it was pop shit, pop shit, pop shit. Now the reality of it is, once that analytical data gets created, every artist eventually gets a chance to show themselves and be themselves. But you best believe that analytical data best match, best add up. I mean, let's just put it in correlation for you guys. If your boss told you that you could come in you can have every Monday off as long as on Tuesday you kept your productivity up, you would jump on that opportunity. And that first Tuesday in, you try to bust your tail to make sure everything was up to par. You was doubling your work. The next Tuesday, you'll be right back there, and then eventually you'll get comfortable, and your Tuesdays will become regular Tuesdays like they were before you started taking Mondays off. So now you're not doubling productivity. You're not doing the same work. They need you to come in on Mondays again. See, that's how the game changes. If you can't change and elevate with it, and that takes the peers and the people. And usually, because we're all industry made and analytically made out here, I mean, y'all think that y'all not analytically made as regular people. What I like to call regular people is people who have no pressures on what the world is thinking of them. Now, y'all may say that I have that because I got to go to work. No, if that job don't like you're fine. Your resume will be good. Just go. You can go get another job. But if these artists out here fail at their deals, they probably won't get another deal, and they probably won't ever be able to recoup whatever they done bought out to live the lifestyle to be what you guys look for. I mean, all this jewelry, all this shit on right now is a prime example of why people look at me way different now. They're like, "Oh, he making some moves. We proud of you. We proud of you." And I mean, yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of myself. Yeah, but come on, people. I was the same person. Yeah, I didn't do nothing different, but change how I dress. The numbers are still the same. The moves are more because obviously more you do, the more people attach to you and the more things you do. But like y'all gotta understand something. That's hard work and a sacrifice that's made.
Sacrifice.
And Lord knows, y'all, I could write a book if I want to tell y'all how much I pay sacrifice every day. I mean, I ain't had to, kill one of my, loved ones, thank God, but shit, damn near, you got to forget they exist.
It's definitely a tough topic. But what happened at Astroworld?
Man, let me tell you about Astroworld. Have you seen any of the clips?
No.
Well, there was a gate that was barricaded, and they pretty much went through that barricade, tore the barricade down, and people got trampled and things like that. People with drugs, people passed out. Yeah, it was a concert. It was a fiasco. It was a wild thing. Now, I do want to say that there are a lot of reports coming out. What y'all have to understand is we're in a new world. With these drugs that a lot of people are taking, y'all, I gave this message in my Huffington Post a month ago about fentanyl being laced in everything, and you have to be mad careful. Now there are reports that the 8 people took fentanyl laced drugs. Okay, we don't know.
What 8 people? The 8 people that died?
Yes,
allegedly.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're alleging that this happened. Now they're alleging that people were injected with drugs. They're also.
I heard that somebody was trampled and injected with the syringe. Now, I'm not exactly sure. So he was performing. The crowd got crazy, bombarded, killed some people, stabbed people with syringes, and he's responsible for this?
Well, that's what they're saying. He is responsible for it. And if I had to, I don't want to get canceled, but if I have to make an analogy, guys, I want anybody to explain to me how's the artist responsible for this. We have 50,000 people here. Stories say that he prepared resources for 80,000 people. Police said that they came to him hours before the show and explained to him they felt a little worried about the crowd getting out of hand. Now, at that point, 2 hours into it, maybe the police should have just like upped his little manpower a little bit, up the team. I mean, this is this guy's hometown. He's one of the biggest stars in the world, and he has a rave-like atmosphere. So, for people that don't understand what happens in raves, people are going left to right, up and down, jumping around any which way. It's complete mayhem. I have a video footage on my Facebook of a mosh pit that took place at a non-Travis Scott event. I'll say white event. And they were pretty much throwing blows, flipping and doing moonsaults and shit over on the top of his head. So that is not the case here. Initially, stories came out that he did not stop the show and he kept performing. Now, video has come out that he actually did stop the show and cater to people that he's seen passed out. Now, I also want people to understand this. This was allegedly a back gate, a back structure of a venue that already has 50,000 crazy fans going ham inside. In the back, a gate gets trampled down, a barricade gets down. These people start making their way into the concert. Again, a person on stage only sees a crowd coming into his show. There's no way this crowd is going to make it to the front of the show because there's 50,000 people already in here. Show goes on. I said the show goes on, and God dog it, they were like, what if that was one of your kids trampled? And I hate when they do that, right? I'm like, why does it got to be one of my kids trampled for me to not be empathetic? I'm empathetic of what happened, but I also understand as an artist, the show must go on. Stopping that show, ooh, I can only speculate because that's what we all do here. Well, let's speculate. You stop that show now, you got 50,000 people pissed at 5,000 people for fucking up their show. That's a bigger problem. If those 50,000 people, let's say just 10,000 of those 50,000 people want to retaliate on the 5,000 people that just messed up their concert that they paid for. Whoa, my God. I'd hate to see that because I'd hate to be there for that. Now, this unfortunately made me research these type of incidents, and I found out that this was not the biggest, nor was this the first time that this has happened where fans had passed, unfortunately, due to crowd stampedes. I even went back to, and I know you old people gonna hate me for this, but I went back to you all's beloved Michael Jackson, and I watched the hysteria that he caused with his 1980s tours during his Bad Days and Thriller Days. There was one footage where fans jumped on Michael Jackson's car and Michael Jackson asked his driver to speed up, dragging fans for miles across their back on the car. I don't know if any one of them fans lost their life, but I do know they were dragged for miles. And these were European people dragged for miles from a car that was moving. I also seen fans and EMTs rush a lot of people out of Michael Jackson's concerts in those 80s. There was also some rock bands that actually had lost deaths to the count of I saw one number where there was 56 people that had passed away. I saw one number where there was 33 people that had passed away. And by all means, these are not things that I want to make light of. I'm just trying to make a correlation to how this situation was really well maintained and handled, and it could have been a lot worse. I do want to wait until the actual stories come out because they're a bit confusing to me, right? What's confusing to me is if it was 8 people that passed breaking down the barricades that was up, if it was 8 people that passed in that trample, and it was, in fact, these 8 people that they show in the video who were in the front of the gate breaking it down, I do like to bring to point there was a barricade there and it shouldn't have been broken down. And I don't think that those 8 people that passed away were the 8 people that was trampled in that stampede. I also want to know if the people that were inside of if it was the 8 people that died were 8 people of the 50K that was already inside the party, that was already inside of the festival. Without all of these facts, it's really hard to point out who is to blame. However, who isn't to blame is Travis Scott because he does what he always does: create an atmosphere, create a show that's kind of like mayhem like-ish or circus like-ish.
But he brought the people, so
Well,
ultimately he's responsible.
well, I mean, look, he ain't bring the people. Let's just be real, y'all. Live Nation brought the people,
Okay.
right? Because, I mean, he wasn't there alone. Drake was there too. Drake was there too. and I think everyone that was probably featured on any project with him was in the building. I mean, shoot, half the world was probably in that joint. As far as like the big people. So I'm not gonna sit up here and he does that event. That's his event that he does. So, but Live Nation bring those people. He's just the act that has to entertain them. And I want y'all to understand how these things work. All of these people are millions and billions of people are signed up with Live Nation, where they get updates on events, tickets, and things like that. What happens is months in advance, these fans, they go on Live Nation and they see what events are happening and they buy tickets for them. Well, what Live Nation does is say, hey, we're going to do an event in Houston. How can we get the biggest bang for our buck? Or we're going to do an event we're going to sponsor this event. How can we make it all make sense? Well, that's how that works. So if they say they got an event down the road for next year, they'll
The hell happened? Some creepy ass shit.
yeah, they'll ask, do you want to do the event? And once you say yes, your picture gets plastered on that event, and all of those people that bought tickets are happier, and more people to buy tickets because of who it is or not. You know what I'm saying? So these are just these. This is, I hate to say it like this, but this is a product of what we have to do out here. We have to work. We have to work. It just so happen that he's the biggest artist in the world right now when it comes to that show stuff. But this is a product of America sending us back to work early and getting the world back in form. I mean, people haven't been out for a long time. People haven't been able to see Travis Scott in over 2 years, I think they said.
2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. They canceled it last year due to COVID. So I personally believe if a man goes out of his way to hire 1,200 security guards, EMTs, and police officers, and hire police officers to be on duty, he went above and beyond to make sure that his event was taken care of. They also say a security guard was injected and killed. I also want to know, was this security guard that was supposed to be manning that gate that got knocked down?
He got injected with what though? Like this is what I don't
They,
understand.
you know how they throw these word drugs out. We gonna fuck around. We don't know, but they say he got injected with some type of drugs. They ain't gonna put it out there. They ain't gonna do that right now. But come on, right? Was he the one watching the gate? I don't know anymore. But what I do know is, I I for one would like to acknowledge that online I said that Travis Scott was one of the best performers in the world, and he was smart for what he did. A lot of people made lighter to me, and I get everybody that comes to me and tell me what someone said or someone's actions, but I want y'all to understand, y'all are really not sheep, but y'all believe whatever is told to y'all. I'm one of these people that now I'm an underliner, right? And the underlying thing is you always say what you're supposed to say in this industry. I mean, if I don't want y'all to hate me, I'm going to always say something like "no offense" or something, or forgive me, but whatever the case may be, because I don't want y'all to hate me, and I acknowledge that. So let's just be real here. If I continue performing for 37 minutes while mayhem is going on, you best believe I know what my job is. Right? Like I know what my job is here. When I come out and say I apologize for my comments or apologize for my actions, you best believe I know what my job is. I'm not here for you. I'm here for them. That apology is not for me. It's for them. Yes, I apologize for not stopping. In hindsight, I do wish I would have stopped to make sure what was all going on, because I genuinely do. If I would have known 8 people was dying, I wouldn't have kept performing, or maybe I would have. But at the end of the day, I wish that I would have known, because dang, that I don't want to be that guy. I'm not that guy, y'all. Buy my tickets to the next show. You'll see I'm not that guy. This what are we? Why do we? Are we gonna go to the point where we surprised where celebs are apologizing? Are we gonna get to the point where we surprised that celebs are hanging together after dissing each other? Are we gonna really act like that? Are we gonna act like we're surprised that billionaires will walk into the room after telling you that they don't feel like their employee is worth shit? I mean, hello. Have we not seen this before? Have we not seen um jobs where the big boss man will be talking like some shit about his staff, and then go buy him pizza, like he building morale, like a pizza party? I mean, y'all know for a fact that it's people that you go home and you talk to your significant other about them. Like, yeah, man, I can't stand them. When I see them at work, I just want to smack them. They always saying this. They don't do nothing right at work. They always messing up. And in the morning, hey, good morning. You ain't gonna go to work and be like, I don't fuck with you, nigga. I don't like you. Get out of my face. Nah, you ain't doing that, because that's attached to your money. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because if you get fired for causing a ruckus at work, you have to go now and find a new job. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But you feel like because this man has it, and that's a form of hating. I want y'all to know that. That's a form of jealousy when you be like, he got it. He got it. That's a form of jealousy. But because you feel like he has it, he should be willing to sacrifice it all and stand for what he says and stand for how he feels. He should be willing to be a fool on the job because he got it. Well, you got it too. You got your own house, you got your own car, you got your bank account. Surely you can survive. Surely your job that you put so much trust in has entitled you to a position where you can survive if you stand out, right? Because that's what y'all think about anybody that's rich, like a Kanye West, or anybody like a Travis Scott. Y'all think that they're allotted to have this power, so they got it. But no, they working. They working just like you. I mean, like the worst thing about it, the worst thing is this, right? If I go to work, right? I go to work in the building, and let's just use a grocery store, for instance. If I work at a grocery store and someone spills something on aisle 3, right? Someone calls me and say, hey, Kron, we really need you to go clean up aisle 3. Someone made a mess. I say, all right, boss, I'm on my way. As I'm on my way to aisle 3, someone slips and falls. Or, hell, while I'm in aisle 3 cleaning up, someone slips and falls. Hey, K-Rod didn't have the wet floor side up. K-Rod didn't get there fast enough. But guess what?
That's not your fault.
They
If
can't
they
come and sue
fell.
K-Ron. They can't come and sue K-Ron. They gonna sue Giant, Shoppers, Kroger's, whatever the store is at the time I'm working at. They gonna sue them. Right? That's who has that responsibility. Because a lot of people don't understand this. The artist is at worst jeopardy. And let me get this. Let me make sure that y'all understand what I'm saying here. The artist is in worse jeopardy than those fans that ran through there and hurt themselves and the people that were killed. The artist was at worst jeopardy because now everything had went out of control at this point. What if they were there to attack him? He doesn't know what's going on. But what if they had I mean, because we saw that. Remember little Michael when they bum rushed his show? He had to get out of there. His parents had to grab him up and run and get him to the car to get him to safety when his fans did that for him. I'm sure people were hurt in that stampede as well. So now, like, I'm tired of the pressure that we as artists have on us to be a certain way, and that stigma or that respect or expectation is not on the ones and don't have that same expectation that they put on us. The ones that are expecting don't expect to give the same back in return. And I, for one, have a huge problem with that. I'm starting to get genuinely offended. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they expect you to work hard. They expect you to be diligent. They expect you to support them. They expect you to have their back and be on at every angle and be at every beck and call and every problem. But when you ask for a little support in something like, I don't know, running for president, you crazy.
Are we back to that?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let you sneak that one in there.
Yeah. I mean, because it's just like, it happens. It happens. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, y'all, that's only really in our culture, for real. That's only in our culture. And the real reason why none of y'all, for real, the real reason why you don't want to vote is because if you feel like this man is crazy and you feel like I could do a better job, you already dismissed the whole goal and the whole agenda. And honestly, like I said, I'm getting so sick and tired of the double standards because it's to the point where now I have to live a life of double standard. I have to acknowledge that double standard exists and I have to ride that wave as well. If I have to be careful in it, why can't I be glorious in it as well? If I got to watch what I say because it can get me in trouble, well, why can't I manage what I say to help me glow up? And why should I be ridiculed because I acknowledge that there's a double standard in this world? Well, who's with me, Jezebel? Let's take a poll. Who's with us in changing the demographic, right? Who's with me in changing that optic? Who's with me in changing double standards? I bet you one thing for sure, Jezebel. If you say it right now, me, our two, it'll be just us two at the march. Because honestly, we what is support? What is support? What is um what is respect anymore? What is obligations anymore? What is um fair anymore? What is trustworthy? What is a good deal anymore? I mean, god dang, right? We There's no such thing. Do you realize, Jezebel, that all the record deals of the 90s, all the record deals of the early 2000s have been exposed. No matter what, the new artists get better deals, but yet there's still no such thing as a good deal. And yet, still, people are being signed every day. What in the heck am I missing? There are no good deals, but yet people are signing every day. There are no good jobs, but people are working every day. There's no dreamers, but yet people are sharing their goals every day. Now, y'all ask me, y'all say there's original people in this world, but I've already debunked that. Well, because I'm not the only one that thinks like that. You all are not the only ones that think like that. We all have adjusted and adapted to a certain mentality or c'est la quoi that we have adapted in our own realm. Because if you are a school teacher, right? Well, maybe a school teacher might not be a good example, but if you are a school teacher, I don't expect for your thinking and mental to be the same as mine's as working in media or being an artist, a recording artist. I don't expect you to think the same thing I think. However, if you correlate to what I'm saying, then now I can hopefully have gained you as a fan because you correlate to what I'm saying. But I don't expect you to think it. I don't expect you to have to be walking out and feeling the same feelings I feel. I just expect you to hopefully get where I'm coming from. I mean, like, if you are a nurse or a doctor, that a nurse and a doctor is not expected to have the same ideologies, maybe as a construction worker or sanitation guy. I mean, like, our fields and whatever we choose to do will alter our thinking. Because best believe you me, when you talk to someone that works in the medical field and you talk to them about like any type of like germs or sicknesses, and you talk to it like it's not, they be like, "Oh, you don't know what that is? That's serious." You be like, "Man, I ain't worried about it. It ain't that serious." No, that's serious. I know what that is.
Mhm.
But if I bring a construction man in my house and he sees, hey, that beam isn't supposed to be like that. It's gonna fall and someone could die. I'm like, it's been like that for 5 years now. Oh, we gotta fix that, sir. You see what I'm saying? Like the mentals change, and what you see and how you think and how you perceive life changes based on your lifestyle, based on your career path, and based on what you choose to do. I mean, like it's people that think I'm crazy as hell for being out at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're like, why are you out at 3 o'clock in the morning? People out there killing. It's dangerous. Anything can happen. I mean, I know that. But this is when I get on stage. I don't get on stage at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I have to do this because it's how I have to feed my folks. So like, no, you may not have to do that. You may get up in the morning and get your job done by 10 o'clock and be snug in a bug and happy as hell and safe and sound. But come on, people. Like, we gotta stop living our lives with the expectations, of our own minds and mentals on other people. I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't know who your role models are, who you look up to, but they don't mold you. They're not your idea of life. Now, you may agree with everything they say. Hell, look, I can tell y'all right now that I agree with everything that my fans. I mean, look, when Tupac spoke, Malcolm X spoke. I listened to words from them today, old little messages, and they still hold value to me. I watch remakes, movies, TV shows, and I watch how people depict them. Godfather Harlem, and I look at how they depict Malcolm X, and I'm like, no way, they about to do my man Malcolm X like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I get so emotional because I'm like, this is somebody that I held regard to. And you about to make him out like he was weak, like he was mindfully unaware, like he was this. No, sir. You know, so yeah, because you know why, y'all? These heroes that we choose in life, I really don't care if it's Superman. I don't care if you chose a realistic hero like a police officer or a fireman or your favorite school teacher. One way or another, these heroes that you look up to mold everything, mold everything around them to look the way that it looks. And yet you can't, and you're still trying to mold your mental on theirs. Well, you have to mold your mental on what you want so that you can mold everything that you want around you. You got people telling you that it's a bad record deal to take $600 every million streams, and I'm here to tell y'all, if you getting $0 every million streams right now, would you take a deal to get you $600 every million?
You said $600 every million streams.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Nah, like honestly, Jezebel, like deep for real, as people, right? We're always gonna answer every single question with the conscience of thinking, right? Because that's the first thing that we've been taught since we was little kids. Think about it, think about it, think about it. But sometimes I'm trying to tell y'all, you have to be knowledgeable. You don't have to think about anything when you know it. If you know the answers, you don't have to think. You I mean, yeah, like I sit around with a smart kid and they're like 2 + 2, 4. And then you got a dumb kid like 2 + 2, they're like, and it's like, wait a minute, that kid that don't got to think about it because he's staying trained up, he's practicing every day, he's staying focused, he's learning everything that he needs to learn. So when the time comes, you don't have to think about it. You know the answers to everything that gets asked to you. When you ask, if you're making nothing off your music right now and someone is about to put some money into you and tell you or put any type of investment behind you, you know what it takes to live. Now, let's just break down some realistic math here for everybody in this world. If you get a house at about $2,000 a month, let's just go that number because most of us in the DMV, that's about right for a 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom house, whatever, $2,000 a month. If you paying that in about 12 months, what's that, $24,000 a year? Okay, so now you tell me that your rent is paid with 85K, your rent is paid for a year at least. We know that for a fact. And if we talking about 24K and you got 85K, that's at least two years of rent right there. That's 2 years rent free. Now, y'all mean to tell me you can't live your life all bills taken care of for 2 years straight, and now all you gotta do is stop making that extra money because your bills already taken care of. You just making that extra money, and now you still, oh yeah, that's right, following your dreams and your goals. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that because a lot of y'all keep using this word ownership. I want to own my rights. I don't want to give away my stuff, and no one gonna take from me, and no one gonna play me. Well, you're right. No one gonna take zero. No one takes 0 or 0. Trust me. No one wants it. No one wants zero. People talk about wins and losses in everything we do except when it comes to us. Y'all realize that? Do y'all realize that? We would talk wins and losses and everything except when it comes to us. Well, we got to do that, guys. You can't pick a favorite sports team and tell me that you don't believe in winning. you know,
Yeah,
you can't
that's
tell me
true.
my favorite team is the Redskins or the Cowboys, but nah, winning ain't everything. What? You can't tell me that you got a favorite restaurant, but then tell me that you don't think about eating and think about that. You can't do these things in life. You got to be 100% on where you are. And a lot of people, for real, we're more so like zombified based on whatever because we don't want the perception of whatever world. And I get it. It's our markets that we in and the knowledge that we have and the accessibility that we have. But at the end of the day, you should not be doing anything that you don't want to get full knowledge of and that you don't want to grow to the top of at doing it. And if you are one of those type of people, I'm not even talking to you. If you are unambitious and have no goals, you already won.
One.
You already won. You're a winner already. Because what if you don't want nothing and you have nothing, you got exactly what you asked for. And we look stupid arguing with winners when we are losing. Could you imagine me trying to tell somebody who's already made their life up that they don't want to learn the business, they don't care to do this, and they rather do that and that alone? And I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, we don't have to argue that down anymore. Like you made your own point. I'm talking to the people that are asking themselves every day, what am I like? What am I thinking right now that got me off right now? What what? Why am I feeling this way? Well, I'm here to tell y'all because a lot of y'all are zombified about the general public and how they feel. A lot of y'all are afraid, no pun intended, to keep the show going and figure out later. A lot of y'all, when stuff panic, when stuff break down, when it gets too chaotic, and this is probably, I hope it's not a bad analogy, but when things get chaotic, y'all shut it down. And that's why you're not on those levels of greatness and these heights. And I mean, listen, yes, the man is being sued and being dragged through the mud right now by every platform in America, and that's to be expected. Life was lost. And that is never something to take lightly. But y'all have to understand what I'm talking about metaphorically. Y'all have to, the show goes on. And all of y'all that's shutting down, every time something in y'all life happens, every time something happens here in this realm, you shut it down, you start yourself over, and you're always setting yourself back because the industry is forever moving forward. And I'm not talking about music industry right now, guys. I'm talking about the industry of life. I don't care if you're a secretary. You feel away. If you feel away at your job as a secretary, you feel like you need to take you some time off. Trust and believe me, you miss too much time. You gonna walk in there, Sally is in your seat. And Sally is gonna talk to you like you knew. Because she never seen you before. She been there for weeks. And Sally gonna have the audacity to talk to you like you knew and you've been there for years. Well, it ain't because y'all like these metaphors that I use is not ironic, but it's the same way like this in the music industry. All these old rappers, all these old retired rappers who chose to stop because things wasn't fair, who chose to get out and shut everything down because they didn't like the infrastructure that was set up or they didn't like the rules that they had to play by. Well, they're the reasons why there are new artists in their place. And they're also the reason why new artists make more money than they ever did. Ever. Right? There's no reason why artists like Logic can walk in and get a deal for 30 million at Def Jam. Right? When artists like Big Sean wasn't getting no 30 million from Def Jam. Like I mean, let's just be real. Artists that shut it down, artists that don't show these things like that, we don't pay them any attention later. When was the last artist that was complaining that we really like took care of? Hell, when was the last person that was complaining that we took care that we took care of? I'm just like, I don't think that we even do that anymore. I know the era of looking out, and I know the era of supporting your friends is over. I already know that. And I know the era of it doesn't matter how long you got to know a person. If a person is not openly your friend and openly publicly supporting you, then you have to take it now in today's world for what it is. Right? And you can't be mad at people. You just have to accept it. But in that same breath, y'all have to understand this. Don't feel bad when you tell those people F off. Or when you tell those people you're the worst mistake I ever made. You can't feel bad about that because they don't have a problem with telling you or letting it be known that you're not supported. And that's just how it is. And you damn sure can't let people out here that don't have a deal tell you what a bad deal is. And you definitely can't let people that have a good deal tell you what a bad deal is either, because it didn't start off that way for them. Everybody's steps in this game is different. What I told my son earlier is you have to love everything that you do, because there's gonna be times you don't make a dime. And those times you don't make a dime, can you still smile? Can you still show up? And can you still be diligent and on point? And when you can't, that's when you know everything is haywire. You know, and honestly, it's crazy because everything that happened this week with I watched the Colin Kaepernick thing, and I was like, dang, he really is coming on heavy with playing the race divide. And honestly, I couldn't get into it until I do further research, right? Because there's that with shows like that Colin Kaepernick joint, it forces you to have to fact check, right? It's like if someone tells you they they treat black people like this ever since black people do this, you now gotta research the beginning of times, because black people in music, in sports, in entertainment have not always had a seat. So what that means is there's not one low budget or bad deal to a white artist in history. There's not one bad contract to a white athlete in history. There's not one how to comparison of white groups in history. If that is the basis that we want to start standing on in today's world. Now, a lot of people tell me they don't like the way I think anymore. And honestly, people, I don't like the way I think anymore. Do y'all know how much I stay up at night because of my mental of how I'm thinking? The nightmares, the dreams. I don't even call them sweet dreams. They're nightmares and dreams, because there's always what is to come, or what can be, or what is not happening. I mean, like, and the sad thing about it is, y'all, I wake up sometimes and sweat most of the time, and I'm like, damn it, I gotta say something. I gotta speak about it. And even if, and sometimes it does my heart well, like the phone calls I get. I saw the video. People like, I saw your YouTube video. I like what you said. I like how you said that. You was right on point with that. Oh, I'm glad you finally said that. Those are the stuff that I like to hear. Those are the things that make me feel good. Because honestly, I want all you artists out here to stop thinking about yourselves for a second and think about this industry and think about everybody that was before you and think about everybody that's going to come after you, and you ask yourself, do you not deserve everything that they are going to get and got? And if you can honestly say that you don't deserve those things, then you should, I hate to say it like this, but you should just quit and do something else, because your mental is not there. I got a friend of mine, Giovanni, on my Facebook, and I know he don't got a sports bone in his body. He say things like he doesn't have an athletic bone in his body. He always say, "You don't know me like that, bro." And I tell people like this: in today's world, social media, we know you like that. Like, what you post is who you are. What you say is who you are, y'all. And a lot of y'all say, "I'm just sharing it." Nah, you sharing it, all right. You sharing how you feel. You sharing what you think. So when you say things with a loser mentality, or you say things with a non-competitive spirit, I know for a fact that you're not a competitor. You're not hungry. I mean, if you say shit like, "I'm so hungry and this table is full of food, but I can't eat none of it," then you're an idiot. What are you supposed to do with the food that's on the table? Did they bring you there to stare at the food, and you're so hungry? Hello, wake up. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like all of y'all that complain about bad deals, and they complain that you'll never sign a deal, and they complain that you ain't making no money in the industry, and then go to work. Y'all look like those people that's in the desert. Water, water, water. That's y'all. Because ain't no water in the desert. And you out here, you keep saying, hey, I'm a rapper, I'm an artist, I'm gonna make it. Because you're not gonna ever make it because you keep saying this exact same thing. I don't want to deal. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. I don't got to do that. I'm independent. I'm me. I'm on my own stuff. Well, you're in the desert asking for water. Water. And I love y'all to death. I love y'all to death, but we got too many templates and blueprints in front of us on how we need to think if we want to get there. If you don't want to be a billionaire, you don't need to think like Kanye West. No, you don't. If you don't want to be the richest man in rap, you don't have to think like Kanye West. If you want to be the richest person in the rap game ever, then you have to think like the richest person in the rap game. Fortunately, when I was in high school, and I said to myself, I wanted to be as good as Joe Montana and Chad Pennington at the time, and Tom Brady at the time. I didn't go out there and work with the running backs and the quarterbacks that was trying to be like Michael Vick. I went out there and watched quarterbacks that were trying to play like Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Chad Pennington. So when my peers is like, why aren't you running? Why are you standing in the pocket? Well, I'm a pocket passer. That's what I watched. That's what I studied. I didn't study to become a running quarterback. And I don't respect the fact that you're telling me what I have to be, as opposed to me being able to look and see what I like to be. Because see, that's what y'all all do. We have to be. And that's why the term rapper is calling me a nigga. You tell me I have to be a rapper because of what? You tell me I have to be a singer because of what? You tell me I have to be an employee because of what? You're telling me I have to accept these things because of what? Well, y'all already know. We're going to definitely finish this. We're going to have to do a part 2 of this. Because I really am to a point now, y'all, where I believe that and I'm not talking about just in general with black people, I'm talking about we as people that want things are not doing all that we could be doing to achieve it. And we sit behind the excuses, and we sit behind the fears, and we sit behind social media, and we use posts to hide and to be what we want to hide what we really want to be. And honestly, guys, if you don't like what you are, change it. If you don't like what your life has become, change it. If you don't like that you don't have millions of people breaking down barricades to see you, change it. If you don't like that, people will want to disassociate from you, and we're in a world where people don't want to associate with you if you're not supporting them, we'll change it. Because y'all look at the crazy part, like that's so 2000, I guess. That's so 90s, I guess. Because you best believe that if Master P said his ass was running for president, every No Limit soldier would have voted for him. Back in that day. Every No Limit soldier.
I probably would have voted for Master.
Of course. Listen, listen. Let me not just stop at Master P, because I could get real ignorant. If Birdman said he wanted to run for president, every artist that Cash Money and Young Money would have voted for him.
Yeah,
that's just the thing. Nah, they would have. Listen. Lil Wayne begged that man for his masters. Damn near sued him for his masters, only to sell them back to him. That's so daddy. That's such his daddy. But hey, who cares, right? The life is not about what we want. It's just about what we want. He didn't care that Birdman owns his masters and Universal owns his masters. He cared that he didn't have the 100 million that his masters was worth. So once he got the 100 million, they can have it back. Thank you guys. That's all I want. Right? So y'all don't know. The problem is y'all don't know what you want. But that man does. That man does. Now, I gotta wrap this segment up because I gotta get to the Huffington Post this week, y'all. And the Huffington Post is really, really good because I've been working on a little silent experiment, and I didn't, say nothing about it. But what happens how long do you think trees can last in a mason jar?
I would say 7 months.
Well, the Chinese had one stay in a mason jar for 10,000 years. So in 2017, when I read that, 2018, when I read that, I put a mason jar up. And it's been sitting. And 3 years, 4 years now. Here we are, 3 years now, and I tried it, and it's just as good as it was the day I got it.
You
And I
said
want,
3 years?
yeah, y'all, 3 years, 3 years, and it was just as good as the day that I had got it, which now has me telling everyone on today's Huffington Post that weed is the most amazing thing in this world. It lasts forever, and it tastes great still, and it always forever gets the job done. So when you guys out there trying for these different things, these opioids that you out there trying, this fentanyl shit, these pills, y'all need to cut it out. Cut it out and do what good Lord gave you, right? He said you can have anything in this good green grassy trees, plants, roots, fruits, all this good stuff. You can have it. And I told y'all I'm not a real spiritual guy, but the Bible got a lot of correlations today that y'all need to hear. You can have these things, but stay away from all the things ignorant, bad, harmful. Put these drugs down, people. Give our streets back to the daggone good, healthy people. Stop trying to take over and sabotage everything good that people have set up and put in place. Stop trying to sabotage the psyche that people have put in place to be where they want to be. Stop trying to purposely bring down growth. We are all elevating as people, and some of us are elevating in different directions. But at the end of the day, we got to know that some things are going to be here long before us. That's long after we're gone. Like that tree that lasted in that mason jar 10,000 years. I wish that I had 10,000 years to sit and wait and see how long this tree lasted. But what I do want is some relationships, some support, and things to last as long as tree. It's a shame that I have to use this Huffington Post as another life lesson, but today I'm feeling it, right? But we don't have any support systems that are willing to stand the test of time with us, stay airtight with us, and stick it out and support us through whatever. And the sad part about it is, it ain't getting no better. So y'all gotta like realize, take time to appreciate what we got here. Take time to appreciate the evolution, the growth in yourselves. Take time to appreciate the growth and evolution of the things around you, the people around you, and start putting things in perspective, man. Like start asking yourself the little questions that you don't think no one cares about. Start asking yourselves like how bad you really want things. Because it'll probably save you a lot of time in the end. I mean, I think that if you ask yourself, do you really want to be an artist as bad as you want the lifestyle as an artist, then you'll probably get a lot further when you answer it honestly. If you say, I just want to live like an artist. Well, bro, you ain't got to rap to drive a fast car. You ain't got to rap to have a big house. You just got to work hard, though. You do got to work hard. And you don't got to turn to hate. We don't got to be so negative towards each other. However, I get you guys feel like that's the best way to be lucrative and be seen. I get it. But we got to figure out a way to like start sharing our truths without being so much in attack. Now, Jezebel, you already know what I got going on this week. More iHeartRadio, Hip Hop 95, 10 to 2. What you got going on this week?
Well, my mom's having surgery on Wednesday,
Okay.
so I'll pretty much just be taking care of her, you guys. I think this is my last week out, and then I should think should be back to normal next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed, y'all keep me.
Yeah, we definitely gonna be doing that for you, Jezebel. Y'all already know. Y'all hit that like and subscribe buttons down below. Also, make sure you hit those notifications so that y'all know when we on next Monday at 5 p.m. sharp, like we never left. Now, at this time, y'all should be flicking out those roaches, throwing up jokes in the ashtray, and getting ready to roll up another one. Cause I know I am. And we out. Peace.
Bye, bye, y'all. He's so funny.